Morning. It's a pleasure to be together in this morning. Thank you for an appreciation for all of us to choose from all the options we have. We choose goodness and kindness, cultivation. So let's take a little moment. I appreciate very much the gifts you give to our teacher. Imagine when you show kindness to our teacher that we love so dearly, how we monks feel. So thank you so much by bringing the flowers, being here and following his teaching. It's a pleasure. Thank you. So let's gather ourselves for a little while. In the present moment, we will make a little bit of contemplation and exploration. So let's come back to the body, to the present moment. It is unique. This moment has never happened. So we take it with all sincerity as the only one, because it is. Only when we fall in the illusion of permanence is when we start to get bored, because we think it's the same, but actually it is not. Today is a new day. The planet is floating in space. We born floating, we live floating, and we will die floating. Wonderful, isn't it? We are alive. We have a home, all of us, where to stay peacefully. Food, clothing, family, friends, teachers, the Dhamma. It has been like that for years, even decades. So no need to worry. We can trust. It has been very good for decades, isn't it? So let's release our mind, let's make it soft, relax the body. It's okay. Actually, we are very fortunate. We acknowledge with kindness and humility. And we decide to do the best of these conditions. We release the face and the muscles, the head, and we feel the eyes, the brain, the ears, the teeth and tongue, and with a sense of appreciation for their service. Thank you very much. May our organs continue healthy and strong for many more years. Same for the neck and the shoulders, and we can release. It's a good time, unique moment. Take it. Release the arms and hands and stay alert. Thank you for the service of our hands. Imagine what we will do if we didn't have them. Even they are so familiar as everything around us. Let's not take them for granted. The lungs and the heart, thank you. May they be healthy and strong for many more years. The stomach, thank you. The intestines, liver, kidneys, bladder, hips, genital area. Thank you very much. May everything continue healthy and strong. Kindness, blessings to ourselves, to this body. It's okay. We need to do. Very healthy. Now the legs and the feet. Thank you so much for all the places you brought us today here. 谢谢. This body made out of parts, natural process, changing moment to moment. It's okay. It's doing its job. In the same way that we release the body, now we turn to the mind and we let it free. Same. With kindness and appreciation. Thank you, mind, for all the things you helped me to do. I would like to apologize with it. Sorry, sometimes I overuse you, or I don't take much care, allowing to be polluted by impatience. It's okay. We try next time. Let go. Polluted with obsession, lust. I'm sorry. I will be more careful. Thank you very much. And also we appreciate its kindness. Thank you, mind, for the moments of gratitude, of generosity, of love and wisdom. And we release. It's okay. Now, with the same intention we have of well-being in our body and the mind, we wish the same for our mother and father. Mama, Papa, thank you very much. Wherever they may be, even if they pass away already, no problem. May our mother and father have a safe journey, with health in the body. May they be at peace with life. It's okay. It's okay. The same intention of kindness, health, and peace goes for our children. If you have children, you can see their faces in your mind. If you have grandchildren, bring them up and keep the joy. May all of them have a long life in well-being, inspired to do good. And we continue with our brothers and sisters. You can see their faces in the mind. I have 3 sisters in Mexico. May they be well. May they be at peace. Thank you for everything. All our family, especially if we know that somebody is having problems with their body or in the mind with anxiety, stress, or fear, may they come back to stability soon. We share this moment. All our friends and Dhamma family, thank you very much from the heart. I thank you as if it was the only time, because it is. All our teachers and all beings in the universe, everybody, regardless of size, way of thinking, everywhere, especially those who suffer more than us. They are billions and billions. We offer these presents. We share our blessings. May all beings in the universe be well. May our families and ourselves be wise and keep choosing for goodness. Sukino wa kemi no hontu, sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatam. Sukino wa kemi no hontu, sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatam. Sukino wa kemi no hontu, sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very good, very good. Everybody okay? A little bit better than before the practice, isn't it? Practice is very good. So simple. It's very easy. We just need to remember what we did now. I just say the formula so you have it. It's very simple. The first thing is come back to ourselves. Come back to ourselves and use the body as our tool. Anyway, it's so solid, isn't it? Very firm. So we come back to the body. And it's also always good, I like very much, that's why I share it, to do gratitude, appreciation for this body. Also, one other thing we did was remember our blessings. Our home, our family, our food, everything we have. And that brings the mind to the positive side. Sometimes this mind that I carry tends to obsess in what is going wrong. Somebody here has that hobby? Somebody has the hobby of focusing in what is going wrong? I think many of us have that hobby. Very bad hobby. So we need to bring the facts to the mind and say, no, mind, wait. Don't jump to conclusions so fast. Actually, many things are going right. I am not crippled. I'm sorry to say in this way. I am not blind. Our minds work. We have a home. There's many people without home. So if our mind continue complaining, we need to bring the facts. No, darling, wait. Something is going wrong. So that helps a lot. After we did the body, and then we check our with appreciation for each part, then we relax it, and then we go to the mind. So actually it's body and relax. Mind and open, relax. And trust is very useful. It has been well for many years, so we can trust, and the mind is more flexible at that time. And then after that, you can use concentration as you like for as long time you have, and then before finishing what we did, in the same way that I wish well-being for myself in the body and in the mind, we start wishing it in Yugo, my parents, and with gratitude. Gratitude makes the mind very beautiful. So thank you, Mama, Papa, brothers and sisters, children, everybody growing. Like if you drop a stone in a lake and bloop, and it start coming out and out until all beings. That's what we did. Simple formula. Body release, mind release, gratitude and blessings, love for everybody. And that's it. We are ready. We have the mind ready to start the day. And if you can, in the middle of the day, do it again. It can take 1 minute. 1 minute that you come back with this, we refresh the mind, reset it, and then we continue with our daily lives. Okay, deal? We do that? I will continue. It really helps. So let's start today. Would you like to explore some things? Yes? Okay, so I received the invitation to make this talk today. I gladly, happily explore. And as you saw the topic, we were deciding between two titles. The topic that was offered was how to extract wisdom by moving away from our comfort zone. That was one title. And another title that I was thinking about is how to make our challenges our allies. What? How to make our challenges our allies. So we'll make an exploration. But since I already saw the content of the talk, I will request you from the beginning to please buckle up, put your spiritual safety belts. So put them, because we might have some turbulences. There will be some moments of turbulences, but don't worry. I'm driving here, and I already saw where we are going. I have some notes here. I'm sure we will have many clouds will be dispelled. I hope many clouds dispelled, and we will go through. But yes, buckle up. So are you ready? We start? Okay, let's do then. I want to start with a question. Anybody here, please raise your hand. I would like to see this one. Anybody here would like all your problems to disappear like this? Raise your hand. Whoever wants their problems to disappear like that, raise your hand. Hey, I think it's general. Okay, sorry, I forgot. Do you have problems? Raise your hand, the one who has problem. Oh, okay, so family, we are family. Already we are family. So everybody has problems, and everybody would like the problems to disappear just like that. Okay, let's wish. 1, 2, 3. Wish it. Already? Okay, let me try again. Wish it with all the heart. Did they go already? No, yet, right? I also would love to do the same, but unfortunately, they don't go. So, question, let's pause for a little while. We already know we all have problems. Life is like this, no problem. Life has problems, no problem. It is like this, we already know. They don't go by wishing. So let's stop for a little moment. What do we need to do for them to go? What is the methodology? What can we do? Let's pause. What can we do? What we need to do for them to go? Any idea? Somebody? Just raise your voices. What do we need to do to make our problems go? Brainstorming? Somebody? Sorry? Sorry? Acknowledge them. Good one. More ideas. Acknowledge them. Acceptance. Acknowledge them. Acceptance. What here? Sorry? Look at the cause of the problem. Totally agree. Here? Somebody? I heard a voice somewhere here. Understand them. You're right. We know what we need to do, and I think the Buddha's teaching is about it, no? The Four Noble Truths actually is talking about it. What we are talking, we are very quickly touching the heart of the teaching, isn't it? The Buddha first say in the First Noble Truth, suffering exists. Yeah, we have problems. Sometimes in the body, sometimes in the mind, sometimes outside. They have a cause. And this is what we need to do. As long wishing won't take them away, and if we only take care of the symptoms, if we don't go to the cause, they won't go, so we need to know the cause, and we can be hopeful. There are ways to do so, and there are ways. Okay, so I want to tell you, would you like how I relate in the past to problems? And you might laugh a little bit, but I want to share a story. Are you up for a story in Sunday morning? So when I was young, many years ago, when I was 21 years old, I independent from my home. So I went with my father and mother and said, Mama, Papa, I already found a home in the countryside, in the forest, a cabin. It was a cabin. So I said, I'm going. My mother was a little bit worried, but anyway, she both saw me so determined, so I went to live in the countryside. So I started living by myself, no mama, papa, I needed to cook and everything. So I started living and enjoying it, but I have to say, it was challenging at the beginning. Okay, but one time, what happened there was that I left for a weekend to go with some friends or so. I think we went camping or something. And then as I returned to the cabin, I arrived and then I smelled. When I arrived, there is some smell, strange smell. Okay, it was small. So that day passed. Next day, every day that started passing, and a few days passed, the smell, the bad smell, it was smelling really bad, but it started increasing. So then, it becomes very uncomfortable. So okay, I don't know, I didn't know. I checked around, I didn't saw anything, and the smell continued there. Then later I realized that it was the smell of dead something. Wow. Okay, one time I kind of tried to, oh, no, nothing. It's just a little bit. I opened the windows like this. So, but one time I was sleeping, and I recognized that the bad smell woke me up. So I said, I need to do something tomorrow. Okay. So it was a weekend, I remember. So I start checking. I go into smelling, and it was coming from the kitchen. Wow, I come to the kitchen, and then I start opening the drawers, and then finally I found 2 doors that they went down there, and I opened. When I opened, like this, there was a big mouse dead there, but it had already time, and they were, I mean, you can imagine, sorry, some maggots. So when I saw it, like this. So what did I do, 21-year-old? I go out of the house. I close the door and stay outside. And then I'm walking outside, what to do. So I spent hours outside. I didn't want it to face what was there because it was so smelly and it looked so horrible. Somebody here can relate to something similar? It can be a mouse, but sometimes the mouse live on the head. Okay, here we go. So what to do? So suddenly I was tired, and I found myself sitting on a rock like this in the sun, and suddenly the mind said, wait. Here, something is wrong here. Now, the mouse is in the house. I am here outside in the sun. Now the mouse won already. No, I must do something. I cannot call my mama. I cannot call my papa. I already told him that I was a big boy. So how come so I go back, and I remember I put a bandana in the face, and then I go, okay, somebody needs to do something. I'm alone, okay. So I bring the thing, come out. Before going, I made a hole in the ground. So I come down to the stairs, come out, put the mouse, put the sand, and go. So then I come back. It took me hours and days bearing the bad smell. How long it took you? How long it took me? Almost what I told you now. It took me to clean the mouse. Can we realize? I start realizing later, what are we doing? It took minutes to take it out and days to bear it. I came back and I cleaned still with Clorox and everything, left everything on. I went for a long walk, opened the windows. When I returned, the house was back to peace. So, my dear family, the question is, what are we doing with our mouses? All of us. Somebody here that has a mouse around? Maybe not outside, but sometimes in some relation there is a mouse, something smells. In the work, sometimes in the house. And many, I have to say, I still have many mouses, many mice in the head. So what are we doing? I just want to stop for a little while. I recognize that the natural tendency, maybe you will relate, is when we have a problem, the first tendency of the mind is, let's go away, let's run away. But we already saw that by doing that, the mouse will still be there. And the smell, the longer time it passes, the worse that it will get. So, one of the things that we can start thinking is, where can we gather the strength to recognize, as we said right now, it was said by the wisdom of all of us, how can we recognize, and knowing the cause, there is still something needed, which is the courage, no? So I would like to mostly focus, I think the topic of the talk is established by now. I think we can start looking in possibilities we have, and also we will go on to tools, how to do so. So the mind generally wants to go away. Now I would like all of us to contemplate one question in our intimacy. Why? Why does this mind once it sees a problem, it wants to run away or go around? If that was so, I think there won't be any learning, because let's take a look to some examples. For example, when we look at athletes, what is the job of athletes? They go to the field, and every time the coach is giving them a little bit of challenge. So with the challenge, they can fortify, they can get more skillful about something, isn't it? So not just athletes, artists. I was a musician. That was my job as a layperson. So when you are learning a piece, if you go to a skill teacher, the teacher must give you something that is easy for you so you can do it, not too easy so it keeps you interested and challenged. Because if it is too easy, you get bored. Have you seen a child? If you get something to a child and then the child is already understood in the school, that's why, I was maybe sometimes like this. I already understood, or children understood the teacher, start looking, and that's why they pull the hair to the neighbor or something like this, because bored, not interesting enough. But then if we don't put challenge, the mind will not move. Now, on the other side, if we put too much challenge, then people get discouraged. No, people start feeling, I cannot do this. right? So this balance, my dear family, I think is challenge, is very necessary for growth. That's what we do in the gym, for example. We get how you call weights? We get a small weight, and then next day, if we stay with the same weight, we won't grow too much. We need to get the next one. So the invitation, you can see where we are going now. What if instead of running away, we start changing the focus and start utilizing our challenges as our training grounds? How much can I go through? How much can I let go? Let's pause for a little while. I mentioned athletes and artists, but what do you think about monks? Did the Buddha saw this tendency? Sometimes, I have to say, monk life can be difficult, especially if you are used to lay life, or you have a fridge 24 hours. You can go to the fridge and open it, and it's full of nice things there. But suddenly you don't have that, you have TV. Many challenges start to come. The Buddha knew very well. You don't push too much that the people break. You don't keep the mind so, pampered. So there is a very fine balance in between. The Buddha knew how to make us push a little bit. For example, when he encouraged all of us, and I will extend the invitation, if you can, at least on the full moon and the new moon, practice the 8 precepts. At least 2 days, 8 precepts, at least 2 days a month. If you can once a week, it's great. So as you know, it is the normal 5, and then on the Uposatha day, new moon and full moon, push yourself a little bit. Push yourself just a little bit to see how the mind reacts, and then that day we practice celibacy, and then we, until midday, try to sleep in a not so luxurious or high bed, and what else? Avoiding usage of decorations or perfume or makeup, and yeah, that's what you do. We try a little bit further, so we push. The Buddha knew very well. For monks, he also gave us the Dhutanga practices, which are ascetic practices, which are a bit tough. One of them is eating 1 meal a day, which we normally do in the monastery, and not lying down. There are some that are quite tough, né? But anyway, it's just for some periods. So I think it is very, very healthy to start growing ourselves. It's like when we do yoga, we need to push. If I can go until here, then next day I need to push a little bit more, until the body becomes flexible. We want to do the same, but now for our minds. We want to do the same now for our attachment. I ask you one question. The attachments that we all have, are they flexible or are they stiff? Very stiff, at least the ones I carry. The attachment is very stiff. It doesn't like to let go. So we must start making some exercise with it. The Buddha knew very well, and we have many, many opportunities to do so. One of the gains from doing this, my dear family, and I will encourage you from time to time to take a cold shower, wake up a little bit earlier, push a little bit to the things that the mind doesn't want to do, push kindly to it, because one of the benefits that I see from there is that over and over and over and over, you will prove yourself, or we will prove ourselves, that we are much stronger than what we thought, isn't it? So when we start doing and then we realize, it's not just the doing. Later on, you feel very satisfied. Oh, today I woke up early. I went do exercise. I did this and that. You put your list and start facing difficult things soon, early in the morning. Now focus on the satisfaction that it is felt. You are like, katang karaniya. What needed to be done is done. So you feel this sense of joy, and that energy is reinvested in yourself. In what? In self-confidence. Who here will not like to have more self-confidence? Anybody who would like more self-confidence? Me, isn't it? It's helpful for ourselves, together with our families, to our jobs, anything that we do. It will be very, very, very helpful. Okay, let's take a little pause by now. Some information has come. How can we apply this in our daily life? Let's take a few moments to contemplate if it is reasonable, facing challenges, pushing ourselves, not inviting ourselves a little bit further, proving that we are stronger than what we think, and rejoicing in the satisfaction of our strength, growing, recovering, reinvesting. Think how you can apply in reality in our daily life. I will also think about it. Very good. So if you got some ideas, keep them in the mind, in the back of the mind, or write them later, and let's apply them. I am doing that, sorry. Would you like to continue a little bit more? When I was contemplating about the topic, I start seeing, okay, let's take a look at the obstacles. So here's where we will need the safety belt. Ne? When I start looking, what is one of the obstacles? I start realizing that, for example, difficult things is when I made a mistake, and I don't want to face the situation, isn't it? So I started asking, I made a mistake, I know I did it, and the mind immediately starts saying, what can I say? Oh no, it was because it was so hot, there was no internet, and the mind immediately, so when I see the mind trying to do that, I say, wait, who are you? Who are you? And you know who is the one who is spending a lot of energy trying to go around difficulties, trying to go around problems, and even willing to lie in order not to accept that he made a mistake? Who you think it is? Is it a person? It's happening in all of us. Who? Again, the same guy. Ego. So, my dear family, very often it is not just the problem that is holding us back. The problem is not the problem outside. The problem is the inability we all have, and I will speak for all. Well, okay, I just speak for me. Sorry. If something resounds similar, it's just coincidence. I will just speak for me. Okay, I think we all have that. So we have two enemies now. The problem outside, the difficulty of the problem, but I think, my dear family, really, I think the ego stops us way more because it doesn't want to accept that I made a mistake. So I will tell you another story that happened recently, and I'm very happy that some experiments that have been done, and I would like to share. So first, ego is there. It doesn't want to face, it doesn't want to accept that which ego here likes to say, I made a mistake? None of them. Ego would like to portray itself as perfect, isn't it? As a perfect person, the perfect mother, the perfect father, the perfect monk, whatever. So it's willing to lie, and it does it. But the problem doesn't start there. When we lie, we feel bad. Our self-confidence goes down, isn't it? We know it. Maybe the other person doesn't know that we are lying, but you know who knows? We know. And we are already decent people. And then our self-confidence drops immediately. Another thing, if we lie one time, we must keep the lie. And we must remember, what lie did I say? And then we say another lie, and sooner or later, as the Buddha said, there are three things in this world that cannot be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. So sooner or later, we will be serving our lies. How many lies do we have given? I have to confess, I have done it. We have done it. So how many lies we need to put on top? Look at how much energy we are putting just because we don't want to face the remorse that appears later, the lack of self-confidence, the lack of energy, all that start being added, just because we don't have the courage to come to the ego and says, enough. I will tell you a story. Recently, 1 week ago, I made a mistake, and it was a big mistake. My preceptor asked me to make a booklet, so I made the design and put all this wisdom inside, and he wished for us to print it. We found some donors in Penang, and very kindly, it's a small booklet that can be used for children's school or very simple wisdom quotes. So I was working on the project. Then when the printer asked me to make a little bit bigger the background, not to get into details, as I work, the font moved and I didn't recheck it because I just saw it. Okay, I was careless. The file goes to them, they print. They were fortunately not too many copies. They print the copy. Oh, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We print the book, and when it comes the book, I open it. One sentence was missing because the font moved. Oh, we cannot. And immediately, what I just told you, the mic, the computer, the heat, the what? And then I stood down, and then I said, okay, let's call. So much energy, the mind was trying to go around. I just called, sister, I have bad news. There is some mistake in the book. I take full responsibility. After I said that, my dear family, you cannot believe immediately the body, wow, I take responsibility from it, and I already have some solutions. I fixed the thing. Somebody donated for my expenses to move. Don't worry, we don't need to find more donations. I already have, we can put from there. Immediately her reaction was, oh, Bante, no problem. The respect that came out of accepting, I was very shocked. Not to make the story long, I hang the phone, and I was really shocked. The relation, she immediately took it nicely. There was some degree of harmony. They were already talking about solutions instead of going around. So now, my dear family, I've been doing some experiments. Just experimenting now. I would like to open the invitation. Next time our ego, and I'm telling you because I'm trying it. Next time our ego tries to run away inventing stories, let's just challenge it. Yes, my darling, I hear you. Don't fight it, don't fight it. I hear you. You have done that many times before. Let's try this one. I have some bad news. There was a mistake, and I take full responsibility from it. I already have solutions. Immediately, the relation changed, and I want to ask you, who would you trust more? A person who is willing to accept his mistakes, or the person who you recognize that is hiding his mistakes? Which one will we trust most? Of course, the one who says. So that can be applied to ourselves. The same trust can come from this, from that. So we need courage to start challenging, not just the situation outside, but the real culprit of the problem, which is ourselves. So here is where it becomes very tricky. Where do we need the courage to come face to face to our own ego, our own identification of the I, me, mine, all these that we have built. How many decades have you been building your image? Tell me. Well, don't tell me. How many decades have we been building our images? I, me, mine. When we go to Facebook, everybody building themselves. Only happy moments, isn't it? So we are building that, and where will we get the courage to face ourselves, stand up, and said, let's just accept. Practice some degree of humility, and said, yes, I made a mistake. My dear family, it's wonderful. The freedom is immediate. You feel proud of we have done it. I'm not saying something new. I'm just trying to relate because of the topic of the day. But let's remember how well we feel, how free we feel immediately. No more lies to feed. Sense of dignity, sense of humility. Yes, we all make mistakes. Respect from the other side. And appreciation. Wow, thank you so much for doing that. Even we become an example for others. So, invitation for everybody. Let's take a little moment. Ping, it's a deal. Seal. Does it sound good? Sounds like a good idea, like a good plan? Yes. Sounds like a good plan? Yes, it sounds like a good plan, I think so. Let's try. And I would like to offer you something as a brother. as a friend, as a Dhamma family. Next time you have the problem, you made a mistake, you know that the ego wants to hide it, you don't feel very, very confident, I want to offer you, remember me. Remember me and remember all the monks, not just me, the Sangha. Also, I will speak maybe on your name. You can remember all of us, all our Dhamma family. Let's try together. I offer my presence. Wherever I am, I will be trying. And also, if you allow me, whenever my ego is also telling, no, like this, I will also remember all my Dhamma family. Deal. I offer that. Remember the monks. Remember your teachers. Keep people near that inspire you courage. Keep the photos of your teachers around in your phone, so you remember this uprightness from our teachers, from the Buddha himself. Courage. We try. And focus in the benefits. One more thing that I would like to touch now. Everybody ready to move a little bit? Two more things to touch, and then we go to the how. We need to get the tools, otherwise we just speak. Very nice to do, but how we do it, we will explore some tools on how to do. Another thing, when I was thinking about the topic, what other thing is a problem? The other people. The person that is difficult to us, sometimes the difficulty is not a thing. Sometimes the difficulty is a person, isn't it? Somebody raise your hand if you have difficulty sometimes with somebody else. We do like this, eh? So sometimes at work, sometimes with the family. What to do? Because if it was a mistake that I do, we already saw how to do. But when it is a person, and I want to tell you another story. Do you like stories? I born in Mexico, and in Mexico, in Latin America, we are Red Indians. Actually, I have some blood of Red Indian, a little bit mixed with Spanish and Red Indian, etc. So as you know, there we still have the ceremonies. My mother dances with the feathers. Some of you have seen her photo. And I used to do that when I was young. So we do ceremonies with the drum. I mean, I will do a little bit of sound, but it's not for entertainment, just to make the point. Like, you know the drum, tung, 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 hi. Like the Red Indians, we do like that in Mexico. Really, they do. Okay, so in these ceremonies, there is one ceremony that is called the sun dance. So this sun dance, we go to the countryside, and you fast for 4 days and 4 nights, no food, no water, dancing in front of the sun. So that's what they do, and the drums are playing, tung, 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 and you have the sweat lodge, etc., etc. Okay, in this place, and this is the point I want to make, I said, sometimes the problem is not a situation. Sometimes the problem we don't want to face is a person. Sometimes the person is a person, the one we want to turn around. Oh, he's coming. You go to the other side. He come. Oh, go to the other side, isn't it? Somebody. If it is similar to that, it's just coincidence again. Anyway, so in these ceremonies, there is one very special spiritual teacher, and that man is called a heyoka. And the job of that man, everybody is dancing in the center for imagine 3 days, you haven't eaten anything, you have not drank a sip of water for 3 days. And the job of that man, he's dressed with feathers, is to come in front of you and start drinking water like this. And then he drops the water in front of you and start laughing. Or he comes and criticizes you and tell you, hey, you're not dancing nicely. You won't be able to survive these 4 days. He comes like this. But especially, he comes and drinks water in front of you, and he gets like this and says, like this. He's called a heyoka. You want to know the meaning of heyoka? The meaning of heyoka is sacred clown. Imagine, sacred. They call him sacred clown. And he sits besides the chief. You know, the chief of the tribe, he has the big feathers. It's real, it's happening. I mean, sometimes we think, really? I was there a few years ago. So the chief is here, and the heyoka is beside, drinking his water. So, sacred clown. Why do the Lakota people think that man is sacred? You know why? Here comes the good part. Because that person has the ability to show you where you are weak. That person has the ability to show you where you break. But if we take that as a spiritual practice, actually, that person, even we don't like him, even we don't like her, if we have the right attitude, actually, he or she is giving us a treasure. Because he's already telling us, look, here is where you break, and I already prove it to you. Look, here is where you are weak, and I already prove it to you. Here is where you get hooked. My dear family, if we continue believing our ego, what does the ego say? And go away, isn't it? You won't get the treasure. Actually, that person, that sacred clown, that sacred teacher is coming us, and the Buddha spoke about it. You know, as monks, when we finish the vasa, we have the pavarana, the invitation, and we come willfully, and it's very beautiful ceremony. We come, and each monk by each monk tell to all the other monks, my dear brothers, if you saw that I misbehave in word, in deed, or something that I can improve, please let me know. I invite you to give me this treasure. And the Buddha in many scriptures says, when you are surrounded by a wise person who can let you know your faults in a kind way at the right time, that is like having a treasure, incomparable treasure. Well, my dear family, think of the difficult people in your life. Actually, if we are wise and open, we could be harnessing all these treasures from them. Forget about the way they do it. Put it aside. It might not be skillful. It might not be pleasurable. But don't throw away the wisdom. Don't throw away the treasure that they are bringing. Do we see? So, my dear family, welcome, Heyokas. Welcome, Heyokas. Next time you see the person at work or the person in your family that is making life apparently difficult, you will come and you will say, Shifu. Xie xie Shifu. Fei chang kai xie ni. You will say, like, really from the heart, thank you for what you are giving me. You are giving me a treasure. So really, my dear family, why don't we stop for a little while? Think about the person in our lives that are making apparently our life difficult, but now we'll appreciate them. Thank you, Shifu. Thank you, Master. Thank you for showing me where I break. Thank you. Thank you for showing me where I'm weak, where I get hooked. May I recognize the negativity that is coming from the inside? Have wisdom to go over it, and one day be free. Thank you, Shifu. You can visualize their faces right now in your head. Take responsibility from your side, and I am doing it also. I'm sorry. I take responsibility from my side. It's not just only you, 50-50. Thank you very much for the lesson. May you be well, may you be free. May we all be free from ignorance. Before coming to KL, I had some difficulties closing the chapter in the monastery because this or that, whatever. And my dear brother, Bhante Sunanda from Sri Lanka, he's 17 Vasa, he's my senior. And he's very kind, he's very soft, and he has very good sense of humor. And we made very beautiful friendship in these 2 years that we were there together. Very nice. So when he recognized the difficulties I was having, I was standing, and he maybe saw me a little bit worried what to do. I needed to choose between this and that. And he came to the side. He came to the side and stayed like this. And he told me something very beautiful, right on time. And I want to share with you today this. Keep it. And he told me, smooth seas, soft seas, do not generate skillful sailors. Wow. Smooth seas, calm seas, do not generate skillful sailors. So I think that sentence really, really touches the topic of today. If we are running away from heavy sea and storm, we will never get skillful. We will be too pampered, take things for granted, become grumpy or childish. That's it. We will never be able to mature. So again, my family, we are all included. Let's try our best, an invitation. Also remember that metal, you know the metal? When you have metal just came out from the factory, it's weak, you can bend it. But then you put it onto the fire, how you call that in English? You put it into the fire and it becomes very strong. Yes, through fire is where we become strong. Okay. How to make out of poison medicine, you know, no? If we take a little bit of poison, sometimes it becomes medicine. It's another image that I would like to give. And now we will go to the last part of the talk, which is the how, a few things that we can keep in mind that can be useful on the quest. So one of the things that I think will help us a lot, we already saw, fighting the ego back, have the courage. But we may ask, where do I get the courage to fight the wisdom? And one of the main sources, my dear family, we have it close to us. You already did it right before the talk. So the main source that it was inspired also, instructed by the Buddha, is our own morality. So whenever you feel weak to face anything, remember our kindness. Remember that we don't harm anybody. And that will make us this dignity and self-confidence to say, yes, I can face even myself, even the ego, isn't it? So in order to do so, practically, I use 5 questions. Well, I should use 227 questions, but I use 5, no problem, because they are the same, you go directly. When I feel doubtful about myself, okay, better I ask you, does your mind sometimes doubt about yourself? Raise your hand. Who raised? Yeah, me too. Does your mind sometimes criticize you? Yeah, well, since mind criticizes you. So next time you hear the mind criticizing you or doubting about yourself, ask these 5 questions. Do I kill? No, I don't kill. Do I steal? No, I'm sure I don't steal. Do I cheat? No. Do I lie or insult? No. Do I intoxicate or make my mind weak? No. Then you kind of come back to the mind and said, you see, I'm bringing the facts. So actually, my dear family, in this case, this courage, I haven't found something more near. If I get courage because of my teachers, but what if my teacher is not there? I will be alone. Our own sila, my dear family. Really, really. And the Buddha called that sila nusati, isn't it? To contemplate constantly onto our kindness. Then you can contemplate the generosity, the service you do to others. And that immediately is like a poem, like... So if the mind is kind of bullying you with doubt or criticism, bring back the sila. You're going to face a difficult situation, a difficult person, or the ego itself, remember the sila, and then let's make that our power. It will come and it will be useful to do anything in our activities. Another thing that helps, I will just tips now on, because how is our time? Until what time we have? Sorry. Yeah, so we still have a little bit of time, I think, yes. Okay, so some tips. Objectivity. As much as we take the situation, why are you angry? I am angry because you told me, isn't it? So if I say you and me, the anger just grows, isn't it? Are you talking like that to me? You see? So This, actually, the word is very small. What is bigger, the word that the person said or the me? Actually, the me is much greater, isn't it? The me is more heavy. So, objectivity, my dear family. Just nature. Take the I and the mind away. And if you need more instructions on that, there are the books of Sayadaw Tejaniya. He's a master on guiding a mind to start letting go and see that everything is just a natural process. Take the I away, take the mind away. These are the most painful things, not what the people said. What the people said actually is just sound, a meaning of a word. Who knows why? I don't know. But the I and the mind, the more we put it aside. So one way that I do, when I say, I am angry, okay, let's make an experiment. Eh? 2 options I will give you, and then you tell me which one feels better. Please repeat after me. I am very angry because you told me. No, but you need to say it angry. Like this, I am very angry because you told me. Okay, option number 1. Option number 2. Wow, anger is happening. Wow, look how the body feels. Okay, just, wow, anger is happening. Go. You're talking about the same thing. You're saying the same thing. One, I am angry because you told me, like this. And the other one is, wow, anger is happening. Wow, the mind feels very heavy. Whoa, the body is very hot. Whoa. When you get interested in the natural process, which one was better? You are saying the same. You are contemplating the same. Why the first option was so heavy? Do you agree the first option was heavier? Much heavier, no? What was heavy? It was not anger. It was me and you, the person again. So again, remember, shifu, shifu, and we bring back again. Okay, so that one is gone. Another one, my dear family, humility. If we are trying to battle ego, what is the opposite of ego? Humility. Now, have you ever wondered? I have wondered, how do one cultivate humility? So I was searching online and even checking some books and things. So some of the points that I use often, one of them is that humble people accept mistakes easily. That's what the one we treated before. Yes, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. How can I help? Wow, so simple, so beautiful. Another quality of humble people is that whenever they have the opportunity to boost about their wealth, their beauty, their strength, their knowledge, they tend to get quiet. Another good quality, I'm just saying, so we keep them on mind and we try to mirror them. Let's do it. Another quality of humble people is that they listen. They are very good listeners. They generally are there for the other because they don't care so much about me. I, me, my, me. It is you. How can I help? Servicial, generous, loving, compassionate. This is the core of the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha says anatta, isn't it? Atta is wrong view and is linked to ego, to mana. So actually the Buddha is, in short, we could also say from the other side, be humble. Be humble. Release yourself. Let go of you and your ideas. So how to do? There are some tips over there. Another thing, encouragement. Dare to go forward, just to challenge yourself. Okay, the mind doesn't want, okay, let's try. And you will see the more you try, the easier it gets. It will be like that, what to do. So go there and challenge yourself a little bit, and we must train resilience. Another thing, and we already have, this is good news, have a supportive network. Make team with your family. You know, I'm trying to improve myself, and I'm trying. I will make mistakes. Please forgive me, but I will continue trying. Take base with your friends, which we have, our Dhamma family. Just look around. I invite you to look around. Look, wait, I see you. Oh, but look around. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the thing we have, the conditions we have. Keep this network at hand. So what I do, and I can show you, is in my room. I have a photo with all my teachers, parents and family, and all Kalyanamitas and monk friends, nun friends, and many lay Kalyanamitas that are there. Many of you actually are there already. So I have it there. I keep it in front. It's the first thing that I put in my suitcase before traveling, in the bag. Even when I was staying in the cave I had that. because it's very helpful to remember that we have community for two reasons. To send metta, very easy, because I'm looking at the faces of my teachers and my parents and all my the Kalyanamitas. And also in difficult moments when I feel some doubt or something, just by looking at them and knowing that everybody's continue trying it, I also will try. So you come back again. So totally recommended. Last one, have your support network. Embrace failure. No problem. If we make mistakes, that's the only way to learn, isn't it? How many times a baby falls down? Hundreds of times. But each time he corrects a little bit until we walk. We all were babies. We did it like that. Riding bicycle, writing, swimming, driving a car was the same. So embrace failure. Our mistakes are our teachers as well. Shifu. We learn and then we improve. Another thing is to keep practicing personal care, emotional, intellectual, have some hobbies. Sometimes I have the tendency of, okay, let's purify this mind. Okay, mind. Sometimes, like when you go to Chinese massage, and sometimes wherever it hurts, it seems like the massage gentleman knows and precisely. So it's good sometimes, but if we only do that, we can hurt ourselves. So be sure that at the same time you take time off, read something different. Leave the topic aside, take a walk, so take care emotionally, physically, eat well, sleep well. I know you know very well how to do that, so we just do. And once we have all that, we have the self-care, the challenge, the courage. I like to think myself, have you seen Bruce Lee doing like this? Have you seen that he does like this? We will do that to challenges, the same. And then, we're ready, and we just go through, my dear family. Courage, bring humor as well. I mean, this was deliberate. Humor is magical. You know why? Because when humor is present, we can laugh even about ourselves. We can laugh at our own ego. Today, we explore our egos quite deeply, and we were having fun with it. So please, my dear family, what makes it really heavy, and I can tell you in personal experience, is because we take ourselves too seriously. We are so serious. We're adults. We are the members of society, and we must keep the economy running. And all these things, piled up, and we becomes like rock. A person who is running the economy and who is adult can also laugh, can also enjoy, can also be light, can also be kind to others and loving, isn't it? Actually, we will do our work faster and more efficiently. I mean, faster and more enjoyable. So please, my dear family, smile. And as I said yesterday, instead of keeping the gaze down, keep it at least at 90 degrees. And if you can, 95 degrees here, and then bring a little smile, and then breathe. Let's do. Okay. Your spine is straight. Nice. Like like the ballerinas, no? They pulling a string to the ceiling. Then you're very straight. And this straightness comes from our sila. We don't kill, we don't steal, and beyond harming someone, we are helping other people. We are supporting the Sangha, so many things, isn't it? So upright. Now bring your chin to 90 degrees. And 95 degrees or 92, just a little bit. And now smile a little bit in the face, but most importantly, in the heart. Smile in the heart. When was the last time your heart smiled or my heart smiled? Bring it back. And now breathe in and release. Make the sound. Let's breathe in and Again. Breathe in. We are decent human beings. Breathe in. We have family. We have teachers, the Dhamma. Breathe in. Keep doing, my family. Keep doing like this. At home in the morning, before going to bed, rejoice in your kusala. Rejoice in your kusala. So, the same joy that we are experiencing, acknowledging our kindness, our dignity as human beings. We don't harm, and we make the life of others better. Sa bapapasa akkaranang kusalasa upasampada sa citta pariyudapadang etang buddhanang sasanang. Avoid doing bad, cultivate what is good, purify the mind. That is the teaching of all Buddhas. I was speaking about worldly suffering and worldly challenges, but just to end, in another chapter, in another session, we can deal with the real challenge that we have, the real suffering, the suffering of samsara. And I want to leave you with a last tip on how to make our suffering or challenges meaningful. Anyway, if we are suffering, let's not suffer for free. Let's gather the wisdom from it. It's already painful. Gather the wisdom, and one of the best ways I have found is nibbida. Whenever I'm suffering, I put it on disenchantment. Yes, in the world there is dukkha, physical pain, mental pain, disenchantment, nibbida. Disappointment, not more searching in the senses. We put it there, we disenchant from the world and start moving away from it. That's my wish as brother, and I will say in the name of the Sangha and the Buddha wish for us, not just to be free and worldly suffering, which the topic of today is mostly too worldly, but we fix that one, but also we keep in mind that the deeper suffering can be fixed with the same tools that we develop in the world. So the lotus born from the mud goes through and comes out to the sun, right? So in the world we born, but let's remember that we don't belong to it. We are moving in the world, but not from the world. We are not from the world. We go through. The best wishes for all of us, our family, our parents, children, grandparents, people who has passed away in our families, friends, and all beings in the universe. May we have the courage to let go of ourselves. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very good.
Now, may we have questions from the floor?
Yes, welcome.
I find that it is not easy. Like, take for example, our parents.
Yes.
We have children.
Yes.
And now the children in the school. They learn how to enjoy, play game, learn things.
Yes.
So much so that they love playing the computer whole day.
Yes.
So we want to tell them, I understand offering, but they don't. Because their ego or their ignorance still haven't gone through. They are not enlightened yet. So they will keep on playing even to the extent that they will even define you. So when we're telling our problems, how, well, these are ways, but the how, I cannot get to the children. In fact, they resist and they hate you more if you ask them not to study, to study and don't play games. Because in the school, they've been told that you must play to enjoy and to win and not to lose. So it's very difficult. So I would like to, what Venerable would suggest parents. Even we bring them to the Dhamma school here Sunday.
Yes.
They get bored. They won't come. They would rather go and do something else. So I would like to hear your wisdom.
So there is one saying in Spanish, but I'm sure it's in English. If you cannot defeat the enemy, join him. Isn't it? If you cannot defeat the enemy, join him. So what I'm trying to do, look, I hope it is understood. All what is here, all this note, is based on suttas. Actually, we could go and start bringing, you heard some Pali. Actually, we are basing, but one thing that I would recommend to parents, if you cannot with the enemy, join them. So now the challenge as parents and as teachers is, how can we make the Dhamma fun? As fun as the other game. So you want challenge, you want to let them know, we are in an adventure, a cosmic adventure. We are floating in space, isn't it? Yes, we are floating in space, and life is arising, and it can pass away. There are many dangers, there are many rules here. If you do this, you go to this hell. What other game do we need? If you do this, you go to that hell. You will do this, you get these points, and then etc., etc. The point I'm trying to make is, how can we adapt to them? Because one of the main problems I see, especially in Asian culture, I lived in Asia for already 15 years or a little bit more, no, 17 years by now, but I born in the West. One of the things that I have been able to see is that very often the education comes with a hierarchical ladder. So by authority is taught very often it also comes to the Dhamma. The Dhamma is very often also, because we have this boundary between monks, and also among monks we have hierarchy. It's taught very often about authority, and actually what kids are averse is not to the Dhamma when you look at it, because they also suffer, actually. It is not difficult to help them realize how even children suffer, stress at school, etc., and that there are tools they can also recognize. But as long as they feel authority, this is what every teenager, and it's normal because we all did it. Raise the hand, the people who was not rebellious when you were a teenager, in your own way. We all were, because what we don't want is authority. So the thing is, if we cannot go through that line, we go from the side and try to make interesting. And the things that I have found, I mean, this question that you're making could be a full workshop onto looking the different ways to. When I was a layperson, I teach children of all ages. So the way is, where is the children now in his or her process, and how to go away from authority and without blurring the line of respect. That doesn't mean that you become your friend with them and they can come and call you, hey, how are you? And no, the respect can be still there, but how can we connect into fun? There are 3 words that I consider very important to share the Dhamma, not just to children or teenagers, everybody. 3 words, which is curiosity. If we are able to make the children or teenagers curious about something, even if you want them to stop, they will continue. So, curious. The second one, which is why we started like this, if they like games, let's make the Dhamma a game. Let's make games Dhamma. I will share how I was teaching some children in Taiping. I will share you a few tips that I use with the kids. And then another thing to use is reason. If we just tell the kids, this is what brings children away from the Dhamma. You should, all the shoulds are very heavy. Who here likes the should word? Raise your hand. You should. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Come on. We only have one very brave. Very few people like the shoulds. But if we say inspiration, why don't we do this? Look, it is good because of this and this and this and that. So reason, fun, and curiosity, and the Dhamma, if we put it together, wow, wonderful. It really works, even with children and teenagers. It does work. We just need to come in the way that they know how to listen. We want them to listen and think in the way we adults do. So we need to adapt, and then in their way. For example, with the children, what I do, the game of tag, freeze and tag, no? So the games that we used to play when we were child, now just put a Dhamma topic. So what I did, we printed some medallions of Mara and the Buddha. So Mara doesn't want us to advance in the path of enlightenment. So the one who has Mara touch the other ones and they get frozen. And then we have the Buddha, which is the liberator. So then another kid had the Buddha, and then they start touching the other. And if the Buddha touches you, you can run. If Mara touches you, you can stop. So there are many ways, even with video games or something, that we could apply the Dhamma. We just need to be ourselves creative. So this is what I can say after trying it. I understand maybe the mind will have more questions, but feel supported. And another thing that I will encourage you is to rejoice in the kindness that you have, because you are with your own intention, trying to pass something that you consider and we know is good to your children. So in that case, rejoice in it. We find the way together. We creative and we work together. Thank you so much for trying to bring the goodness to the kids. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.